Bismillah. Now, as part of developing the alternative assessment task, okay, it's important to also have the rubric, remember, to increase validity as well as reliability. Now, what is assessment rubrics? A rubric is a coherent set of criteria of students' work that includes descriptions of levels of performance quality on a criteria. So there are two keywords here that forms the rubric, that is the criteria and the performance quality or level. Now, why use rubric? Okay, when assessing or scoring an alternative assessment, it increases accuracy in scoring. If you have a rubric, then if you have multiple lecturers, grading the same or the same assessment, right? In order to increase consistency, okay, and accuracy, rubric is important to guide the lecturers to know what to look for. It provides a benchmark for achievement. So it sets an expectation, a clear expectation to the student as well as the lecturer in defining what kind of levels of achievement that we want to have for the assessment task. Now, the rubric is also used to provide feed forward. Now, here what it means is that usually we have feedback, right? Okay, feedback. Feedback is when something happened, then you give comments towards something that happened in the past. Now, feed forward is basically that you give criteria to guide them to do in the future. Okay, so here when you have rubrics, and the rubric must be given earlier the semester, before they do the assignment, before they do the assessment task. So that rubric will serve as, a guide for the students to know, okay, to forward planning, okay, what are they supposed to read first, what are they supposed to practice first, and if they are doing a poster there, what are the things that they must plan to include it, for example. So this is what it means by feedback as opposed to feedback. Right? So feed forward here means that you give criterias to allow student to do forward planning on what is required for the assessment task. Now, rubric also facilitate discussion about the assessment. If you have the rubric there, then you engage, you encourage discussion among lecturers, whether their expectation of the project or the report is the same or not. Okay, if you have a rubric there, you can discuss, hey, okay, this element should be there, no, this element should not be there, and etc. there. And that's for the lecturers. For the student as well, you also stimulate discussion among the student as well, whereby if let's say they are group work, for example, right? So the group members would discuss, okay, about the criteria that they need to fulfill when they read the rubric. Now, the rubric maintains consistency between a lecturer and time here. This relates with, increased accuracy in scoring. Just that the difference is that accuracy in scoring in the sense that the lecturers know what to look at, okay? While here, okay, it is about reliability concern, whereby if let's say this semester lecturer A teaches this course and grade this project, then comes lecturer B, okay, who's teaching this course, and only lecturer B, okay, teaching this course there. So you can when you have a rubric and the rubric is passed on, okay, and shared to the other lecturer there, the lecturer can, the grading, okay, the quality of grading or expectation of the project remains consistent. Okay, at least it reduces the gap, even though there are two different lecturers grading it, but at least if both of the lecturer follow, okay, the rubric very diligently, then it can maintain consistency between lecturer or between time. Okay, let's say in between time here, for example, only one lecturer teaches this course X, for example. So it was offered in 2024, and then later on there's a gap. 2 years, the course is not offered anymore, and then 2027, for example, it is offered again. So sometimes, people may forget, etc. there, but if the rubric is documented, so it's easy to, continue and remain consistent, okay, throughout the grading process there. So that's an example of time there. So rubric can help to remain consistency. It improves learning through incorporation of real life situation. So this is what I mean by rubric, okay, can give a description of what is happening to connect, to make it the assessment authentic. Okay, it can incorporate real life situation, like remember example of the use of microscope. So You can look at the criteria, whether the criteria reflects what is actually happening in the real world or not.